Okay, so why do we find it hard to forgive someone that hurts us?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it deemed as a weakness to forgive? And why is it important not to hold a continuous grudge? What do we think?
Okay.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
When we had a phone call, Drizzy, initially, and we was discussing the subject, it was about Rihanna
And Chris Brown.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what come to my mind. That
Okay.
didn't come to my mind, that particular scenario when it came to forgiveness.
Okay.
What came to my mind was the incident that happened with Amber Geiger in 2018, where she shot a man who she thought was in her house. Really, she intruded in his house. And she shot him.
What was, wait, remind me,
She
bro.
thought it was her house, but she went to her neighbour's house.
She went into her neighbour's house. She shot a guy. She shot a mid-20s.
Okay.
And that was more of what I thought about when it comes to forgiveness. Because basically, it went to trial. She got 10 years.
Right.
And Botham Jean is the guy that was shot.
Right.
His brother testified in court in the trial, and the thing that stood out the most was him telling Amber that he forgave her.
Okay, that's jogging my memory now. Yeah. Okay, Karen.
And he said to her that he didn't want her to rot in jail, and he wished the best for her.
In jail.
And at the time,
Yeah, still do the 10 years and that, but yeah.
I was
Confusing, isn't it?
When they were hugging and that was a
Yeah.
mad.
Okay, yeah, right. I remember. Yeah, that was too much.
right.
That's
Might as well
That's too
start
much.
lips in.
Listen. I can look you in your eyes and say, I've come to peace with the situation that's happened,
Right.
and leave it at that.
Right.
There's no way on God's green earth I'm walking over to hug the killer of my brother. Nah. Sorry, I can't. That's just me.
Right. So it's a stretch. Yeah, because if anybody in here, someone killed close family member of ours, is highly likely we're not really interested in what happens to them.
Yeah.
Right. Let's keep it a buck. Yeah. But when we speak about forgiveness and we speak about this gentleman's way of forgiving her, I believe it's more of a practice when you become godlike, or you have some sort of godly
Practices.
characteristics.
Yeah.
Because it takes a certain type of don to actually to forgive. Now, the question was, why is it that we find it so hard to forgive someone that hurts us?
Yeah.
My answer to that is I just think people don't know how to.
There's not a playbook for it.
So you get hurt. It might be a relationship. It might be somebody
Betrayal of
that
friendship.
teases you,
Yeah,
betrayal of friendship,
yeah.
cheating,
Yeah.
any of those kind of infidelities, right? Those things happen. Now, you don't necessarily, as you said, have the playbook for it to even know how to even navigate through that, because you're feeling like, this person's done me a madness.
I think you're right, though. I think it stems from being religious.
Yeah.
Because when you have, let's just be, someone that's religious believes that the Bible is a stencil to handle situations.
Yeah.
You go to the Bible for guidance. You go you pray to God for answers and those kind of things. I think it is a godly attribute to have,
trait,
and a trait to have, because you have to practice forgiveness.
100%.
And also, sometimes when things happen to you when you are religious, you see it in a different way. So someone who's not like in faith wouldn't see it. They would just see it as betrayal.
100%.
See it as, piece of shit, whatever.
And internalize it.
Yeah, and internalize it. And then probably let it affect them and maybe treat someone else, domino effect, like what you said. Mm-hmm. However, someone that's religious may believe, not by, what's the phrase? Can't remember. They would see it as a lesson.
Yes.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
So everything that happens to you is a lesson because
100%.
it's for the better of the good.
So you
like
got
it's for you to become, for you to learn a lesson from it
Yep.
and to become a better person, but to also like discard and get rid of the toxic stuff around you. So like trials and tribulations, going through it, kind of like what Jesus did. Do you get what I mean? It's like going through all of that in order to become the best version of you. So to become the best version of you, you can't hold things like grudges and have hate in your heart because that's not godly.
But think about it, yeah. Think about this, yeah. And think about a scenario where someone's hurt you and you've held on to it, right? Most of the time, that person's gone on their way, gone on with their life, kept it moving, and they really don't give a shit what they've done to you or how they've done it to you.
Yeah.
They've just moved on because it hasn't happened to them. And then, as you said, you can internalize it and it becomes a vicious circle. So now you're dealing with that, you're processing it, and you're like, I hurt.
Yeah.
Hurt people, the saying goes, right? So, like, I just feel like when people don't understand or don't know how to navigate through hurt, that's where it's hard to process that kind of thought to say, I'm going to forgive somebody. And then it's deemed as weakness, yeah? So think about society in general, yeah? Movies, revenge movies. We get taught that if someone does you something, it's about getting revenge.
It's a dish best served cold.
Black Panther. Do you remember the movie Time to Kill when Samuel L. Jackson, that Donnie does a madness to his daughter and he just lets it off in the court. He lets off a shotgun on the Donnies, right?
As you do.
And Punisher, big movie where
But the common theme with those is they've all been dealt by being done dirty.
Exactly.
But then you, as a person, have to identify the route you want to go in regards to dealing with this revenge.
Post hurt, how are you going to deal with any other situation moving forward?
Should that happen again?
And the person as well.
Because Punisher, with all due respect to Frank Castle, he just went on a vigilante military one. He was like, well, you lot took out my child and my wife. I'm just going to start laying down. Anyone that smells dirty, I'm just murking
anyone
them.
that says the word wife or
child.
Child.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think it's wasted energy festering in it for so long.
100%.
Like, I just think that we're here for a short time, not a long time. Don't waste... Look, if someone does bad by you, i.e., you tell them something in confidence, you two break up, or you're no longer friends, or your relationship, your friendship kind of just, goes its separate ways, and then they want to use that against you in an argument or whatever. It's like, that's more about them than it is about you. You trusted them to confide in them, and they flipped that information you gave them, and they're using it against you. That's just more about... I know the embarrassment at the time with peaking, oh my God, but it's more about them than it is about you. But you can't... You got to invest in people that invest in you. Also,
reacting in the moment when you're hurt is also just like the worst thing you could possibly do. I think you can practice to take a step back and be like, do you know what? This has happened. It is what it is. Obviously, it's easier said than done in that moment. But to know that you're like probably going to be better off without that person, or decide. It depends on what you decide.
Keish, can I ask you a side question quickly?
Yeah.
So, do you think people are entitled to closure?
Yeah, I think so. But some people don't need it.
So, do you think someone should be able to forgive and move on even without closure?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
What do you think?
I think so. That's a good question.
He was on the ledge once upon a time. Like, literally.
How many times has he been on the ledge?
A couple times. And randomly enough, I don't know who gets called before me, but I know I get a call from him, and then he's talking to me, yo, Driz.
Yeah.
Sometimes he might call by the government name. I'm like, I need to, whatever I'm doing, I need to stop and listen.
So can we talk about last week then? We're about to do a skenging in East Ham.
Oh shit, yeah, broski. Keisha, we've left here. I'm dropping off Joe and Drizzy back to the crib, yeah. And literally, we're on the high street in East Ham, and boom, as I stop the car, someone boom drives into the back of me.
What?
Yeah, Uber driver. So we all get out the car, and he's doing all sorts of excuses. I'm saying, push back the car, bro. We need to see the damage on the car. Bro, Joe's going, push back the car. Drizzy's getting angry. It's getting on top, right?
Whoa.
So, couple man run across the road. I think couple Arab dons.
Well, it was in East London, so the demographic very certain demographic East Ham.
And I don't know if they came to save the day or they came to back up Don, or it was like, come to assess the situation. Anyway, as he's reversed back, and we finally we got over frustrated, but we finally got him to push back his car, reverse his car back, and they weren't damage to my car. But the scenario was it could have got techie. It could have got really, because you know, like when someone's done something to you and they are in the wrong, someone drives into the back of you, that's on them, right?
Well, there's a blame, there's a claim.
For me, I was like, let's just keep it moving, because I ain't got the time. Like, I've had a good day. It was the first day we podded together. We did the ad, boom, boom, boom. I'm dropping the man them back. Let's just keep it moving. My cousins were at the yard as well. Maybe they were waiting for me. Yeah. Shout out to Greg and Anton. And yeah, I kind of just tried to get over it quickly, because this is the thing as well. A lot of the time, yeah, when you hold on to resentment and anger, forgiving somebody is not forgetting about it. No. You don't forget.
Being at peace with yourself.
You could spin it into a learning process. So it's like you're going to now look out for these signs that it does not happen again.
But Drizzy, what you're doing is you're forgiving yourself. The whole conversation we're having is about forgiving yourself. Because what you've done is you've put yourself in that situation and allowed yourself to be hurt. And by forgiving that person, you're saying, I forgive me.
Right. Yeah.
I forgive me. Yeah. I'm not going to take this shit. I'm not going to internalize it. I'm not going to harp on it. I'm not going to let it control me. Because that's what they're doing. The person that's hurt you, they're controlling you.
And if you don't forgive them, they've kind of got that control over you until you break it and forgive. And they might not even think about it like that, but they indirectly have that control over you until you say, forgive, and then it's gone.
It's gone. It's gone. So, like, of course, with the Amber Geiger situation, that's a very, very high level of forgiveness that you have to have in your body. But in general, forgiving only helps you move on, man. Like,
it does. Trust me.
Do you know what I mean? It only helps you move on. Which leads to...
shout out to that Donny, by the way, who bumped into the car, because...
Next thing, you lot's doing the Alabama brawl again with the white chair. Like, you didn't know if the guys were
all coming. It was. I think the thing that put the fear of God into him is just how smooth it happened that I think about how all three of us jumped out the car.
No, but you know what's
that
mad?
was just too smooth. It's like the 18s van and we still hopped out. That was too smooth. And I looked at his eyes when I was walking to him, and I could see if he was a virgin or he wasn't a virgin. He became a virgin again, and he lost it because he looked like he just saw, brother. He was mad. You saw the fear in his eyes.
You got a 6 foot tree, Donny, 6'4", 4", and you got Joe Montana in all black,
Joe was hoodied up,
ready to
all black.
like he was at the back of like he was with Sully and then the Top Boy.
Nah,
all three of us just jumped out, and you know why I was getting annoyed. Boss man, just move the car back. Yeah. I don't want to. No. Let's talk about boss man. Move the car back. We need
frustrating.
And he was just driving me insane because I'm like, we're asking you to do one thing. Just move it back because there might not be no damage. Just move it back
before you get kicked.
And he was
before you get kicked, move the car back. Yeah, because it's not.
And then at one point, I said to him, if you don't move the car back, the door's open. But I'm going to jump in and reverse the shit.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it's so, like, some things now, as I get older, is so, like, beyond me that I just can't.
I understand.
You know what I mean? Wrap man up on the high street now. It's
like a kebab. It's nothing.
Yeah. Should be love.